You also just wrote a book. So, what's the title of the book and then what is it about?
Yeah, the title of the book is 50 Reasons I Can't Lose. And it's basically like my ideologies and opinions and mindset about certain things in life. I think the mindset that allows me to win in life, achieve the goals, set high goals, and just overall just strive to be a really high achieving person. It's basically 50 of my ideologies and mindsets that, cultivate, where I am and who I am today.
Well, what can this young dude tell me? You know what I mean? He only 22. You know what I mean? Like, what do you know about life trying to tell me some lessons, right?
One thing I've learned, if there's anything I've learned throughout, doing business in the past couple of years, is that age really is just a number. Like the only thing that age gives you is experience, and experience definitely is important. But in terms of knowledge, in terms of applicable things that you can learn in life that will help you do things, it has nothing to do with age.
I appreciate you sending that over before the interview. And
Hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, man, that's some great stuff you got in there. Like, it kind of blew me away. And we're gonna kind of delve into some of the principles that you wrote in there in a few.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons back with another great interview for you guys. I am the Clean and Business GOAT and founder of the Clean Biz Network. And today's guest was just on for an interview actually with his partner, Fetty Fitness. And together they built a $400,000 a year plus business, y'all. And he's only 21 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And today I had to have him back because not only because of the accolades I just mentioned, but also he'll be speaking at this year's CBN conference, y'all, in July. All right. So make sure you get your tickets. All right. And we also got some stuff from this guy that he doing some new things, and I wanted to share these with the community because I feel like it's some valuable stuff here. So without further ado, please welcome my guy, Mr. Ola Kempfer. What's good, Ola?
What's going on, AJ? Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming back. So,
Hmm.
we usually start off asking with the revenue, but I already got that out of the way. We ain't got to do that this time. So instead, I just kind of want to talk about like a refresher reminder for the people who may not have seen the last interview or might not be aware.
Okay.
Like, just remind us again who you are, where you from, the background, a little bit of stuff like that.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Ola Kempfa Port Benny, but I go by Ola. I'm from actually 22 now. I just turned 22 on May 30th last week. So now I'm 22. I was born in Nigeria, then moved to the Caribbean for a little while, then came to America when I was 7. Stayed, I'm in New Jersey. So stayed in New Jersey for a while. I'm still in New Jersey actually. So stayed in New Jersey, went to school there, and then eventually in high school, I met my now business partner, Amir. We, were friends throughout high school. Then we both went to college, and then I started to try and dabble into business. I started a couple businesses that didn't work. Then Amir came back from college, and we decided to start our current cleaning business, Marola Cleaning Services, together. And that's the one that ended up, doing really well. And now we're like you said on the last interview, we built it up to multiple six figures. And, now I'm just trying to branch out and do other things.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. Now, speaking of doing other things, I know you got experience in a lot of different things. So, what made you just decide to go ahead and choose the cleaning industry?
It wasn't even anything, specific about, oh, I want to do cleaning or I like cleaning. I just thought of something, what can make me money, throughout the whole year, anywhere in the world, they can do it. Anybody needs it. And it's easy to train, low barrier to entry. So I just thought cleaning is that's the most simple thing. So that's why we just did cleaning.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now,
Hmm.
I want to jump into some of these other things because we know we talked about the cleaning business a lot on our last interview, but you also just wrote a book. So, what's the title of the book and then what is it about?
Yeah, the title of the book is 50 Reasons I Can't Lose. And it's basically like my ideologies and opinions and mindset about certain things in life. I think the mindset that allows me to win in life, achieve the goals, set high goals, and just overall just strive to be a really high achieving person. It's basically 50 of my ideologies and mindsets that, cultivate, where I am and who I am today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, now, where could somebody go to get this book if they wanted to get it?
So yeah, you can get it. Just type in the name you see right there at the bottom, OLAKEMFA.com. and you'll see it right there on my website. It's an ebook,
Yeah.
and you see available for purchase right there.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, I had a chance to review it. I appreciate you sending that over before the interview. And I ain't gonna lie, man, that's some great stuff you got in there. Like, it kind of blew me away. And we're gonna kind of delve into some of the principles that you wrote in there in a few. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to stick to my script right here. So somebody might say this, right? So somebody might say, well, what can this young dude tell me? You know what I mean? You're only 22. You know what I mean? Like, what do you know about life trying to tell me some lessons, right? So what would you say to a person that has that mind frame?
I think that I always love, hearing that statement of, oh, what do you know? You're so young. And I think that one thing I've learned, if there's anything I've learned throughout, doing business in the past couple of years, is that age really is just a number. Like, I've seen people in their 40s who I thought would be at a whole different stage, and they're still in this stage. And I've seen people who are 18, 19, who you expect to be in this stage, and they're all the way over here. So the only thing that age gives you is experience, and experience definitely is important. But in terms of knowledge, in terms of applicable things that you can learn in life that will help you do things, it has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with information. Reading books, programs, self-development. And if you never did any of that, then I can definitely teach you a lot because that's all I've been doing. So I can learn from anybody. I can learn from an 18-year-old. I can learn from a 60-year-old. And I think to limit yourself and say, oh, because somebody is this much younger, I can't learn anything from them, is ultimately going to limit you because there's young people making millions of dollars. So if you're going to tell them, oh, what am I going to learn from you? Then now you're not going to know.
Now that's facts right there. And so you were able to state that, and it's factual. But at the very same time, even knowing that, have you dealt with any imposter syndrome, like centered around your age at all?
I mean, I wouldn't say imposter syndrome per se, because I always, saw myself. I just always wanted to do things that's bigger and do things great and just be just a high level person. But I don't know if there's a name for this. One thing I would feel is like, damn, at times I'm like, it's kind of like I'm young, but at the same time I have responsibilities that are like way past my age. So it's kind of like a balance of doing things that my age would do versus doing things that other people would do. Like sometimes it's kind of weird, you know, I be thinking like, damn, right now I'm looking at payroll, I'm doing this and that, and then people my age is probably chilling, on the game.
Yep.
So I'm just it's like a weird balance of things that I do that I'm still young, I'm able to, chill. I still have time to myself, but I still have to worry about all these things that, most people that are older worry about. So it's just weird sometimes. I'm like, damn, it just feels weird to me being this age doing this type of stuff at times.
Yeah, I definitely can relate, man, because I started my first cleaning company at 19 years old, and then I had my barbershop at 22, my first one, because I had multiple of those too, right? But when I had the barbershop in particular, it was weird for me. I had imposter syndrome for sure, because most of the people who worked for me were like 35 and up, you know what I mean? And it just felt so weird, like telling them what to do,
exactly.
especially, know what I mean, being a respectful young man. Like I always respected my elders, but it's like, I'm the boss, I got to do. So I definitely can relate to that. But it's good that you don't really struggle with that imposter syndrome as much. You know what I mean? Like I definitely did that. To this day, I still kind of do. You know what I mean? So it's good that you able to avoid that. So I love that. Now, I did see that you got a YouTube channel. I saw that. I found your YouTube channel a while ago, and it reminded me of me in my early days where, you just get up there and you just speak what you know. You speak what you feel. You know what I mean? And so I guess I want to ask you, like, what made you decide to put yourself out there and start doing a YouTube?
I think honestly, the real reason, if I have to be super honest, is that when I was younger, I realized that, which we all know that obviously one day you're gonna die, and I just want to have something that when I die that people can look back on and be like, damn, he was like this and he was like this. And I also do feel like, I do help people from it. I have a lot of ideas. I think about a lot of stuff, so I just like to put them out there. Things I think about, things I think can help people. But mainly, my main reason was that when I die, I just want to be able to people to have a catalog they can go look back on, like, damn, like this is what he was about, this is what he thought about. So that's really was the number one reason.
That's what's up, bro. And see, you more honorable than me. I ain't gonna lie. What drove me to do it was money first. Like I was like, oh look, they making how much on YouTube? So I had to hop on. But then as time went on, that definitely was a thought in my mind. It's like, hold on, this is a library of information. My grandkids, great grand, you know what I mean? They can reference and see, you know what I mean? So I love that right there. Okay, now I was on your website too, olakemfer.com. All right. And I saw that you got music on there too. So you got a bunch of different things, not just a book. You know what I mean? So And you basically doing a strategy I talked about on my channel here. I kind of stopped because I realized I got to separate the brands, but and it's something I call get paid to be you, where you basically just build a personal brand and just monetize everything about you. So if you like music, monetize that. You got knowledge, you write a book, monetize that. You doing YouTube, you know what I mean? So you just monetize everything in your life. And so I guess my question for you is basically like, what's your motivation behind, you know, going this route that you're going with all these different avenues? Like, are you looking to be famous at some point, you know what I mean, with building that personal brand, or is it something else that's really pushing you?
I just feel like I like things, and if I want to do something, I just do it, really.
Yeah.
That's really just it. I think that in life, a lot of people put themselves into a box of, oh, I'm this, so then I can't do that, I can't do this, or because I'm this, I can't do that, or I can't do this. So I'm just like, if I really want to do something, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And besides, behind the music specifically, a lot of those songs were made when I was like 15, 16, 19 years old. And I've always been making music just because I just like music. Not like I want to be a rapper, but it's just I'm a creative person. And if I see somebody do something that I like, I'll do it as well. It's the same
Right.
reason, I wrote the book, because like if I want to do it, I'll just do it. I decided I wanted to write a book, so I just, wrote it. So
Nah,
I just like doing all types of different things, just creating all types of different things, just because I feel like that's what life's about. Whatever you want to do, you should be able to do it, have the freedom to do it.
I love that. That's facts right there. Now, as a commercial cleaning business owner, you're dealing with B2B, business to
Hmm.
business versus business to consumer. And so a lot of times when people in this business to business realm, we feel like we gotta keep it all together. You know what I mean? A
Hmm.
lot of times. And so I guess my question to you is, do you ever kind of like have the thought of like, maybe I don't really want my prospects to see, your commercial cleaning customers. Maybe I don't want them to see, this side of Ola, with whether you're
Hmm.
rapping or even when you might be on YouTube, or let's say you cussing or something in a video. Have you
Hmm.
ever had those thoughts ever crossed your mind?
The thing about this one is, well, I'll tackle the one about, seeing me, like rapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This it goes back to kind of what I was talking to you about it's not really imposter syndrome, but it's kind of like this weird
Yeah.
like thing, like I'm this age, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm doing this. And then so when one day, in terms of them seeing things like that, I'm just like, I mean, what do you really expect from somebody my age? Like, what do you really expect from from a
Right.
22-year-old, 19-year-old, like 18-year-old? Like, what do you really expect? So I'm doing all this stuff like running a business, and I'm, managing employees, paying people, doing all this type of stuff. Doesn't mean that I'm still don't have tendencies of somebody my age, and I'm just doing things that somebody my age likes to do. And in terms of what I put out on my YouTube, my social media, I mean, I never think about it because I'm the same exact person. I
Yeah.
think everybody that sees me in person, like I'm not different at all. So for me, it's just still being myself. I say all the same things. I dress the same way. I talk all the same things. So that's not anything different that you would see in person. So I don't really worry if somebody were to see it. And it's also because, I'm proud of things I put out. If I write a book, I'm not gonna hide about it and be like, oh, I don't want them to see it and think something. Or if I make a video at a topic that I feel proudly about, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want to hide so that they don't see it. Because if I'm putting it out there, it means that the way I see it, if I put something out there, I expect like the whole planet will see it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I think about it. So as long as I'm cool with that, then, I don't really think about it like that. Because also, I've seen people, really business people. I see how they act when they're not on camera, when they're not on stage, and then how they act, when they are in front of all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, it's kind of like you're kind of like you're not really being who you are. Like you got to do something else. You're not free.
Yep.
And all I want is freedom. So I
Yep.
never want to be able to be like, damn, I can't do this because, that's not really how I am. And of course, everything you're not going to put out there. But for the most part, I just want to be able to be free and not have to be like, oh, I got to button up for this thing. And then, I could be chilling around here. That's
Nah,
really it.
facts, bro. And just to relate to that, like I feel like this channel for sure could be way bigger. I could track way more money if I polished it up a bit. But what I realized, and I started to do that a little while, but what I realized
Hmm.
was, hold on, I got into business for freedom. And
Hmm.
that's the opposite. So it's like, nah, money is great and that's gonna come, but it's like that ain't what if I was chasing that, there's a lot of things I could do that'd be out of character
Hmm.
for me. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. And if it come a little slower, then so be it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
You just
then
got to be authentic.
exactly. And you said another key thing too. You said you're proud of everything that you put out. That's so important. That was a lesson I learned after messing up one time, right? So
Hmm.
I'll never forget this line. I made a song, right? I was like 16 years old. And this was just among me and my homeboys out of the neighborhood.
Hmm.
Somehow the CD got brought to school or whatever. and one of my friends from school heard it, and I forget the line, but it was something along the lines of want to test us, you don't really want to do it. Last dude tried to rob, got bombs in his Buick. I mean, so, and then my boy Terry, shout out to Terry, he in CBN now, by the way, but he pointed it out. He was like, they got bombs in their Buick, AJ. Like, and we bust out laughing because like we know damn well I ain't put no damn bombs in nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that since that point, it kind of taught me a lesson. Like, hold on, make sure that whatever you say in this, like that shit makes sense and you're gonna be proud of it. You know what I mean? Like also too, like at the time I was still in church, like would I want my pastor to hear that? Would I be embarrassed? If my mama heard this, would I be embarrassed? You know what I mean? So I had to make sure that whatever I put out, I'm proud of it. So that's a huge gem right there to drop. I love that. All right, now I did get a chance to crack your book open a bit, and so 50 Reasons I Can't Lose. And so one thing that I wanted to you wanted to make clear from the beginning was the fact that you wrote this book personally. You know what I mean? Won't no AI, you know what I mean? Won't no ghostwriter, none of that. So why was it important for you to make sure that you stated that from the beginning of the book?
I think to me it's very important because I've actually wanted to write a book for a while, but then I'm just like I feel like in today's time, a lot of people say they write books, but really they didn't really write it. They just put their name on it. Like I'll see some certain influencers like my new book. I'm like, you didn't write that book.
Right.
You just you got somebody write that book, you put your name on it to try and sell it. So I'm just like, so it kind of discouraged me from writing a book because I'm like, people aren't even gonna think that I wrote it myself because that's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna do it. I'm just gonna make it clear. I wrote this book. I wrote these are my ideas. This isn't an AI. This isn't somebody telling me what to write. This is really from me. I wrote it, and I have the original notes to prove that I wrote this myself, so that you can read the book in confidence, knowing that this person really wrote it. Because a lot of times I feel like people read a book and they're like, "Did this person really write it?" In the back of their mind, like, "Did this person really write it?"
Yeah.
So I want you to be able to read it knowing that I'm the one that wrote it.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm the same way. For the record, I wrote both of my books. I mean, I had a friend reach out to me the other day, and she asked me like, "How should I start? What should I do? Like, should I do AI?" And I said, "Whatever you do, don't do that." You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people doing it, but I'm just not with it. I mean, to each their own, but it ain't for me. You know what I mean? So, all right, now since branding yourself around I Can't Lose, ICL, right? Do you ever have any doubt around, well, what if I do lose? Like I'm out here branding all of this I can't lose, but what if I do lose?
Nah, I mean, I really don't because in my mind I really can't lose.
Yeah.
Like I know that there's gonna be times where I definitely, might take a downturn, where I definitely go through things that are hard, but I just really cannot see any life where I end up not winning. Like I can't see it. That's how I've always just been my whole life. And then I can't lose. It just kind of came from it's just a motto I started saying to myself in 2021 after my dad had passed away, because I just kind of started, it's something I started telling myself. I heard it somebody say in a song one day. I was like, well, I like that. I can't lose. I can't lose. So I started telling myself it's like a mantra. And the full thing is actually, I can't lose against all odds. ICLAAO. And this is something I always tell myself, whenever things go wrong or something's not looking like it's going to go the right way. It's like, man, I can't lose anyway. So whatever happens, happens. So, and I really don't worry about losing, because if you worry about losing, then you're gonna lose. So I only worry about winning.
Literally, and that question was really just an alley-oop, because I already understand, like, with that mentality, it's impossible to lose anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm with you 1,000% on that. Now, you're an official speaker at the CBN conference this year. I touched on that in the beginning. So what can we expect from Ola on that big stage?
You can definitely expect to be what you didn't expect, basically. Whatever you thought that is what you're gonna get from me is probably what is and what you're gonna get. You can expect to, definitely learn some things. And I think you definitely be happy with everybody that goes away from what I say is gonna be happy and better hearing it than if they didn't hear it. That's the best way I'll put it.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it, bro. Now, we're going to switch it up, and we're going to go to this lightning round real quick. I'm going to say a word or a phrase, and you just tell me what comes the first thing that comes to mind. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. And I really wanted to ask you this because of your age, so I want to see your perspective on that. So the first one, for growing a personal brand, which one do you think is better, Instagram or TikTok?
I think Instagram is just better.
Okay.
Because TikTok, people still don't really take it as serious. It's not really still as serious as platform as Instagram. And
Yeah.
TikTok, a lot of elder people still aren't really on it. A lot of people probably past 40 really aren't active on it, past 30 really aren't active on it. So I think Instagram is just overall just better.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then same question, but Instagram versus YouTube for building a personal brand.
I mean, if like the question is like, it's basically like, would I rather snap my fingers and have a million Instagram followers or snap my fingers and have a million YouTube subscribers? I guess I would say YouTube, yeah, instead of use of Instagram, yeah.
Okay, but I just want to see if your thoughts will be different than mine. I feel exactly the same on all
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
hmm
All right, but next question, or next, I guess, word is competition.
It's good. I love it. I
Okay,
love competition.
but all right, next one. Your definition of wealth.
Abundance, never having to worry about something. I think
Okay,
if you're wealthy in an area, you never have to worry about lacking it.
yeah, 1000%.
Mhm.
Your definition of success.
Just freedom, being able to do whatever you want when you want, and not having to worry about anything.
Love it. All right, next one. Physical fitness.
It's key. It's key. It's definitely a big part of being successful because it's a big part of your self-image too. To see yourself, if you look fit in the mirror versus look fat, you're gonna have completely different emotions in how you see yourself.
1000%. Uh, next one. Your thoughts on gratitude.
Is the most important thing because if you're not grateful, then you're never gonna get more. You have to be grateful for everything you have. Of course, you want more, but you always have to be grateful for what you already have.
1000%. All right, next one. Your favorite book other than yours or mine?
My favorite book for sure now is the Outwitting the Devil by
Okay,
Napoleon Hill.
sure.
That is 100% yeah, my favorite book.
Yeah, I used to read that one probably at least once a year, like in my early years on
Yeah,
entrepreneurship for sure. All of Napoleon Hill for real. Like
yeah.
I had to. That was part of it.
hmm
All right. Favorite hobby when you got some free time?
I mean, watching YouTube, just
Yeah.
watching most of the time informative stuff. At least I'm learning something. Sometimes entertainment stuff, but mainly just informative stuff on YouTube.
Okay. Your thoughts on politics?
I have zero thoughts on politics. I couldn't even care a little bit.
I'm
I couldn't
aware.
even
That's why I
care a
did that
little
on
bit.
purpose too. All
Like,
right. Next one. Best decision you ever made in business?
the best decision I ever made in business was just buying back my time, just buying back my time with virtual assistants, I think.
Bet.
Just virtual assistants of all different types.
Okay. And then I'm gonna do two top fives. We'll do the first top five favorite music artists of all time. Actually, let's do rappers. Let's just do rappers. I know you rap.
Okay.
So top five
Yeah.
rappers all time.
Well, my favorite rapper of all time is still XXX Tentacion,
Okay. They go
then
to age showing
Eminem.
now, right?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know X? He's from Florida.
I know. I'm aware of them, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So X,
Okay.
Eminem is definitely a top five. I think 50 Cent is a top five.
Okay.
I think Lil Wayne is top five.
Okay. One more.
And probably Jay. No, not Jay. I'll say Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right, but and then I got one more top five for you. It'll be
Okay.
your top five entrepreneurs all time.
Okay. Top five entrepreneurs. I would say this top five in terms of like them being successful. That's how I'll put it. I'll say like Rockefeller,
Okay.
John Rockefeller,
Yep.
Andrew Carnegie. I think Napoleon Hill, I put him in there.
Yeah.
I think I said this on the last interview, but Steve Jobs, I still put in there. And
Okay.
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos for sure.
Solid five. I love it. I love it. Now that wraps up the lightning round. I got a few more questions
Okay.
for you, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So, next question I got for you is this. So I think that you very wise, especially for your age. And so, I guess, how do you think that do you get that you got that way? You know what I mean? Because, like you said, you ain't really like most people your age. So how do you think?
hmm
What do you think was like some of the things that happened in your life to help you to get to this point?
I think honestly, it's a mix of nature and nurture
Hmm.
because I definitely was born with the inclination to just be the way I am because I was born with gray hairs too. So people always say that means I have my old soul, like I have wisdom. That's what people always told me. And then my whole life, I just always asked a lot of questions. I just always wanted to know everything.
Yep.
I just wanted to know more, know about this, know about this. People always say, man, you ask so many questions just because I wanted to know everything because I knew that, knowledge is definitely power. So I always watched so many different videos, just random stuff. I would watch videos on philosophy, especially. I really started getting into that within the past couple years when I was like 17, 18, understanding life, understanding, just how things work. So that's where I got a lot of it too, reading books, watching videos and just always just chasing to know more about anything I can.
That's what's up, bro. Now, if somebody is looking at this video or listening to the podcast and they're looking to start a personal brand, what would be the first two things that you would tell them to do to get started with building that personal brand?
I think the first thing you have to figure out is what exactly, you want your brand to be about. Who figure out who you really are about first, really. 'Cause a lot of people really haven't even figured that out.
Yeah,
Just figure out, who you're about, what you want your brand to be about, and then just start putting out, content. Just make a video, make your first video, make a YouTube channel, make a video.
love it. All right. Now, if somebody's watching this video or listening to the podcast and they're scared to take that jump into entrepreneurship, what advice would you give that person?
I would say that I heard a stat that 99% of the things that you're scared about never even come true.
Facts.
So there's really no reason to be scared about it because really, what's the worst that could happen? One thing I started doing recently is I was like, what's the worst that could happen, really?
Yeah.
Like the worst that could happen. And as long as you're not gonna die. And I'm like, even if I did die though, I'd be dead, so I won't care. So really, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like that's just how I started thinking about things. So if the worst that can happen is maybe I lose some money, maybe some people laugh at me, maybe I, fail at this first try, then I mean, I don't think that's so bad. So if that's the worst that could happen, and that's stopping you from doing something with an upside that is like 100 times what the worst downside is, then I think this doesn't make sense.
Facts. I agree 1,000%, bro. Now, your book, 50 Reasons Why I Cannot Lose.
hmm
Let us know where we can get it.
You can get it on my website, olakemfa.com. It's right there in the products tab. You can just click it and then you get the ebook.
Perfect. And then once again, let us know how we can follow your journey just to follow you.
And yeah, everywhere it's just Ola Kemfa. There's YouTube, Instagram, my website as well. Those are like the main places, really. Everywhere is the same thing.
Perfect. That's perfect, bro. I love it, man. I appreciate you for coming back on again, especially in such short notice. Looking forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing you on that big stage at the CBN conference this July 23rd through the 25th. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets at cbnconference.com. All right.
Yeah,
Meet me and Ola there. And Ola, it was a pleasure. I appreciate you coming back, bro. And thank you
I
so much.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That book is fire too. Make sure y'all read it, y'all. Make sure y'all pull it up. Go to olakemfa.com. Thank you so much for coming back, bro.
Thank you, AJ. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons, and it's time again, y'all. We're doing the Clean Biz Network Conference again this July 23rd through the 25th, 2025. Get your tickets at cbnconference.com. But before you do that, let me tell you why you should do it. Y'all already know how we gonna do it, y'all. We got so many guest speakers for y'all. Top notch as always. I'm talking Carolyn Arilano. I'm talking Andrew Lewis, that is, from the automation program. You know myself as well. I'm definitely gonna be a speaker this year. And I got some surprises for y'all. I'm not gonna give y'all all the speakers ahead of time. You just gotta get in the building, all right? But you already know it's gonna be top notch. And we definitely gonna have some featured guests. You already know Tenacity Clean, Tenacity Academy will be in the building. DJ The Boss is scheduled to be here as well. Peter Bolin is definitely scheduled to be here, and he's also a sponsor for this year's event. Shout out to Peter. Mario Kelly will definitely be in the building. You do not want to miss this event, y'all. Make sure you get your tickets. Okay, so now, this area we're in right here, this is where all our vendors and sponsors will be. So if you kind of get a look at these tables here, you see we're gonna have the food trays out. We're gonna have the vendors nonstop. I mean, it's gonna be real. Y'all know how we do it here at CBN, y'all. And then I'm gonna take you into the actual conference area. So if we walk into here, and so this is not even close to what we got going on. You see that wall right there? It opens. And so we're gonna open that wall all the way down to accommodate
the 200 cleaning business owners all over the country and beyond the country, because shout out to Canada. Canada always shows up for us, and other countries as well. And so we all gonna come out. It'll be a big enough space to accommodate all of us, hundreds of cleaning business owners all in one area, coming together, almost like a family reunion, getting educated and getting celebrated, y'all. And as you can see, plenty of entertainment. Like I said, bring the kids, y'all. We got the pool area. It's Florida, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, we gonna be chilling, it's a vibe, y'all. Palm trees, just waiting, you know what I mean? How you chilling in the sun, just the way we do down here in Florida, y'all. Now, if you like me, you know you're gonna wanna get your workout on. So we definitely got the workout center over here. Come on, get your workout in. Just cause we out here, we on vacation a little bit, we business a little bit, but we definitely gotta stay in shape. Health as well, we already know that. So you already know where I'm gonna be. Y'all gonna meet me at the bar. Y'all know I prefer a beer, so if you wanna treat me to a drink, just bring me a little Michelob Ultra or Bud Light, I'll be just fine, all right? But we definitely gonna have the bar for y'all open as well. Come on, pull up and get you a drink and get comfortable. Meet some people, collab, man, get out that house and come network with us. All right, now I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about this little pool table right here. Tenacity Academy team came over here, Miss Johnson, Miss Tamika, they came over here, they played me and Regina. They lost, right? They lost to us in a little game of pool. So if y'all trying to get next on this pool table, make sure y'all come meet us here at the Clean Business Network Conference in 2025, y'all, come on. All right, look, y'all. So I showed you around, let you see what it's gonna be. It's your chance just to pull up, man. Come on out here, chill with us, build with the #1 cleaning business network in the industry, y'all. The Clean Biz Network. Meet us at our annual conference down here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's always sunny. Y'all know the vibes with me. We chilling, but we also gonna learn, we gonna get educated, and we gonna turn up. We gonna celebrate our industry, y'all, because we are the most overworked and most overlooked, y'all. So it's time that you come get celebrated and get the flowers that you deserve, y'all. Meet me down here, Jacksonville, Florida, July 23rd through the 25th. Get your tickets at www.cbnconference.com. We're gonna have a live DJ throughout the entire event. Y'all already know how we do it. The best speakers in the world is gonna be here for the industry, y'all. We got cleaning companies coming from all over the country as well as outside of the country, y'all. This is that one event every year that you do not want to miss. Don't be the one. Don't be that one this year saying, oh, I should have came. Oh, when's the next one? You never know if it's going to be a next one or not. So come to this one, y'all. Get your tickets. I'm AJ Simmons. I'll talk to y'all later.